Acing a job interview is easy only if you know how to best prepare for it. I have landed jobs in top tech startups and a Fortune 500 company. I've also launched my own startups. I've interviewed hundreds of candidates and helped even more land jobs. So I know exactly how to prepare for an interview that will guarantee you a shot at your dream job. Let's get started. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel and the first installment of my interview prep series. I'm Raheel, I'm an NYU-educated entrepreneur and a product leader currently living and working in Dubai. In this first installment of my interview prep series, I will share a high-level strategy and proven practices that will help you prepare for any job interview at any top company. Here is what you need to get started. So let's say you have your first interview lined up. The first thing that you need to do is to thoroughly research the company. You have no idea how many candidates fail at this step. I have interviewed dozens of candidates who did not even bother to go through the website or even read the job description properly. You do not want that because companies care really about candidates who go the extra mile to learn about the company. Start with the website, know what the company does, learn the company values, their culture, and read their blog for their latest work that they are doing. Then head over to LinkedIn. Check out what the company is posting about and check out the profiles of their current employees. You will learn a lot about what a company values in a candidate so that you can align yourself accordingly. Without this step, the chances of you getting the job are very small, regardless of how good you might be. Your next step is to make a list of all your experiences. Start by identifying your competencies in these specific areas: leadership, teamwork, problem solving, initiative taking, and other top skills listed in the job description. Then create an inventory of all your experiences by reflecting on your past work, internship, volunteer work, anything that can prove your competency and prove to the interviewer that you'll be a great addition to the team and you're the right fit for the job. Now, your next step is to build on your experiences and use the STARLF method to structure your answers for behavior questions. Now, this is also known as the STAR method, but I've added two more elements to make it even better. This is what each letter in the STARLF stands for. S is for situation, T for task, then you have A for actions, R for results, L for learnings, and F for follow-up questions. Now, this is how it looks like in practice. Let's say you're given a question. Share how you dealt with a conflict at work. Your first step is to start by asking clarifying questions. Remove any doubt that you might have so that you're talking exactly about what the interviewer is asking you about. Then start by setting up the context, the situation part. Set the context, talk about the situation in detail and in a very concise way and very clearly with the interviewer. Then mention the task that you were assigned with. For example, in this case, it might be to resolve that conflict. Then list down all your actions in a bullet point. These actions are basically steps that you took to reach or complete that specific task. And then talk about the results. What were the outcomes of the tasks that you took? And add your learnings on top of it. The things that you took, that you learned from the entire experience. Finally, ask follow-up questions. This is an interview as a two-way street. You're supposed to ask follow-up questions. For example, you can talk about if the interviewer would like to know more about any specific action item or might ask you to clarify something from one of your actions that you took. Now, to prepare for this, you have to make 5 or 7 stories that align with what exactly the interviewer is looking for, and it also covers your core competencies. Now, you have to remember that even if you're a great candidate, if you do not align with what exactly the job requires, you will not get that job. So you have to make sure that all your stories are aligned perfectly with the description, with the job description, and with the requirements of that specific role. So once you have your stories aligned, your next step is to practice common questions. Now you can simply Google most common interview questions and you can get a list of thousands of questions that are commonly asked in an interview. It could be anything about tell me about yourself, what is your greatest weakness, what is your greatest strength, describe a challenge or a failure and describe how you dealt with it. Now these are questions that are necessary for an interviewer to understand, to evaluate your personality. And there's a very high chance that you will encounter these questions in any interview that you sit through. So you have to make sure that you have really strong answers prepared for each of these questions. And once you have that done, a lot of that common question part, which usually comes at the end of the interview, is covered. Now, once you're done with all your answer prep, the next step is a very critical one, which is to prepare questions to ask the interviewer. Now, a lot of people forget that interview is not just a one-way street. It's not just them asking you all the questions. No, this is you evaluating the company as well. So try to understand how the company really works, but have questions to ask the interviewer. Talk about the culture. Ask them questions about the culture. Ask them questions about how much salary you're going to get. Ask them questions about the growth prospects in the company. Ask them questions about why someone wouldn't want to work there. What makes that workplace really great. Now, these questions are really critical for you to build that relationship with the interviewer. The interviewer might be a senior engineer, might be a senior, business development manager, anyone. But you asking questions and diving deeper to understand more about their company makes them feel extra special and makes them connect with you as a candidate who's seriously interested in joining their company. So you have to make a list of questions that you want to know more about from the interviewer. Now, last but not the least, please practice as much as you can. I cannot begin to describe. I've sat in so many interviews where candidates are extremely ill prepared for the interview, and you can always tell. People cannot fake it. Either they are not really confident with their delivery, or their stories don't really make a lot of sense, and they're just, they're more stories. They're not exactly real and they're made up. You can easily figure people out by asking specific questions. And unless and until they've not practiced enough, they've not gone into the depths, they're unable to answer, and we as interviewers can always tell. So my advice to you is to make sure that you practice your delivery beforehand. Practice common questions. They should be, if I wake you up from your sleep and ask you a question, you should be able to answer. This is how good you need to be. So practice is a very crucial component that you need to master. There you have it, guys. A high-level framework to help you ace your job interview. So let's quickly recap. Number 1, always start by researching the company. Number 2, know thyself. List down all your experiences and use the STARLF method to create stories for the interview. Number 3, practice all the common questions. Master them. Number 4, create a list of all the questions that you want to ask the interviewer. And number 5, practice, and show that you mean business. If you follow all these steps, there's nothing stopping you from acing that job interview. Thank you for watching. If you like this video and you want to stay updated with the upcoming videos where we dive deeper into specific parts of the interview process, then subscribe, like, and also sign up for my weekly newsletter. Link in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.